And so today I want to talk to you about how grateful I am that you are on the planet. Hey, my name is Constance Messmer, and I am here today to talk to you about being empathic. And I am so grateful that you are here. I so appreciate it. I want to invite you to my other teachings. I have a YouTube channel that's getting amazing traction right now. Amazing. I'm gonna cry. And my podcast has changed its name to, come in people, come in, join the crowd. My podcast has changed its name to the Constance Messmer Podcast. Might as well claim it. And a lot is happening on my social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. And these are really great avenues for people to meet and share thoughts and discuss and realize there are like-minded and like-souled people out there with them. It's quite the community across these platforms. And I also have a newsletter that I invite you to sign up for through my currently being revamped website, because the newsletter tells you events like this, where I'll be, what I have offered. And I work predominantly with divine consciousness, and God assured me today that what I don't get to in the notes that I so desperately want to cling to, I can put in a blog for the next newsletter so that I can share what came through to me in my prayer time as I held all of you up to the light. And I said, these are your people, and they're my people. And what shall we feed them? I am probably going to cry during this talk, because when I source how I want to present this information, it's really not me. I just have to get out of the way. And I go to many sources. I go to my own repertoire of experiences that have happened through my 30 plus years of teaching this content and experiencing it as myself from early on in my childhood. But I also go to realms of spirit. I go to people's loved ones that have crossed, their guides, their angels, and I go to highest source energy. I call it God. You could call it all that is, Great Spirit, Goddess, all one. And so today I want to talk to you about how grateful I am that you are on the planet, because it is not easy. It is not easy. I'm laughing because I have this arc of angels that are saying word for word, word for word, word for word. I'm like, what about my opening story? And some of you have lived through trauma because you are so very perceptive, because you are so psychically astute. You have become mind readers. And I'd never, ever, ever want you to deny that, because you've had to read people before they came to you or before you could go to them. You had to be connected with some people's energy that you never had any desire to get near. And you had to learn to navigate your way through, really, do I have to say that word? Through the darkness that is on the planet, and still maintain your light in the process. Okay, that worked out. I've said it before, and I'll say it again and again. You are beacons of light. You are God's little vacuum cleaners. You are so divinely connected and so connected to the angels. You cannot live without this connection. If and when you do, what happens is you become energetically discombobulated. You can have the tendency to conform with the ways of the world, but like that saying goes, you must not be of the world, you are just in the world. You are from source energy. You are here to share your light in great abundance. And this is in every walk of life. Does that mean it's bringing that into every part of your being, into every job you hold, into every relationship you manage or have to master. And master, you have. You are constantly sorting your energy from others. You are constantly trying to clean yourself from what you might be picking up. You are constantly asking, is this my depression or is it someone else's that I carry? And sometimes we feed. We feed on our antidepressants, we feed on our food, we feed on our drugs, we feed on our numbing, we feed on our gaming, we feed on our work, we feed on our everything, so we don't have to feel what we feel, what we feel, what we feel, what you know. And what you know is that sometimes it's too painful to feel all that you do because you feel everything. Everything. And you always have. And what I'm going to ask you today is that you keep feeling and you feel more. It's one of your superpowers. Not only, chills, goosebumps. Not only does this act as a superpower for you to embody yourself and what you're capable of and honoring what you are getting, but being in touch with your emotions allows you to respond to your world in ways that you must now embrace in a greater and broader respect. Because you can tell a liar and a bullshitter from a mile away. And you know who to hang out with and who not to. You do. And Spirit says, why do you do it anyway? That person is not good for you. You can never change them. They are just going to dump and dump and dump and dump and whine and whine and whine and whine. And you're just gonna be there and take it. And you're not supposed to anymore, not like that. Not like that. Every time you're trying to be the truth talker that you are, the visionary and the informant of things that you know, some people shut you down for their own self-protection. Or they put you down or put you in your place. And you shrink. And you shrink. And you shrink. And then you start believing them. This has got to stop. You are like these incredible godlike workers on the planet. You are the truth talkers. You are meant to call a spade and say, ouch, what you're saying there is hurting me. Or, why are you lying to me or yourself? There are so many times that people like us fill our lives with crap. And then we believe it, or we justify it, or we turn it on ourselves and we live it. And so what does that mean, crap? That means your vibration is at such a fine frequency because your world is energy. You're so completely vibratory energy. But when you diminish that light by pursuing things that are not suitable for your soul, that are not suitable for your attention, that are not suitable for your time and energy, bad relationships that you need to walk away from, bad movies that you're ingesting because you or someone else is just caught up in it, These are things that poison your mind in such a way. You're meant to be happy, light, free, and love. You're supposed to be abundant joy. I'm here to remind you that when you kind of this whole garbage in, garbage out experience happens, really? You only have yourself to blame because you know better. So stop putting up with the shit. Stop putting up with this shit. And we do it all the time. I do it too. But God is saying, recognize those moments. Recognize those moments and put an end to it. Like, you talk to yourself in your head all the time. So it's this whole thing of noticing, feeling, I'm uncomfortable here. This movie is scaring me, or this person I'm not finding interesting, or I don't want to listen to that music, or I don't even like the energy of that space, that house, that restaurant, that whatever. I don't like the music they play. It's so troublesome, and I'm trying to sort the energy in the room and the people next to me, and I'm picking up on someone over there who's grieving, and my heart knows it, and I just want to go hug them because I see they're so sad and I feel they're so sad. And so when you deny yourself by telling, like, the restaurateur manager, can you turn that music down? It's really draining. Can you change the channel? Like, why are you playing this intense music when I'm trying to enjoy my meal and now I'm going into anxiety mode? Like, these kind of things, speaking up for yourself becomes caretaking for your own soul. And so this whole, I don't know how this word works, perpetration that occurs is sometimes self-perpetuated. You sometimes deny, and numb, because that's how you grew up. That's how you survived in your world sometimes, especially when you didn't want to face or see what you knew was true and others denied it too, especially those of you that come from a family of inheritance of let's put up and shut up. This lineage stops with you because you recognize it. You know who you are. You know who you are. Go out and smell the flowers. Go out and put your face in them. That's your frequency. That's your frequency. It's this lighter place. It's this, this whole, like, I'm arguing. So I stopped the channeling. It's this whole need of swimming in the ocean, this whole need of, like, just this movement. And I'm like, aren't they also the ones that can recognize what we've done, how polluted it is? And they're like, yeah, right? 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 Your body is the earth's body. You are all elementals. In prior lives, I'm sure you were fairies. God's little vacuum cleaners are that way, I hear. You're vibration more than you're human. You just are. And so the clothes you wear matter, the food you put in your mouth matters, the drugs, the alcohol matters. It shifts your frequency so that you can't be true to who you are and what you've done, and then it makes you not feel, and you're supposed to feel. You're supposed to feel. You're supposed to feel. And even, the clothes you wear matter, and the spaces you hang out in matter. And so I'm asking in my head, well, what about the trauma? What about the trauma? What about the trauma? Trauma for empaths can occur on countless levels. It could be physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Feels like I'm missing something. By spiritual, I'm also saying energetic. You are the people that read minds and thoughts of others to the point that they don't need to say the condescending and demeaning thoughts. They don't even need to look with that look. You feel it, you know it. You've had to read people your whole life. And so sometimes these traumas, you sit there and I've brought this to God. I'm like, was I, because physical trauma can be abuse, any kind of abuse. I don't need to tell you, any kind of abuse. Mental, emotional, those kinds of abuses too. It could also be seeing horrors of war or seeing the outcry of someone else. And it just doesn't make sense, because everything here should make sense to you. You come from this place that's harmony, where people aren't mean, where people are kind, where telepathic communication is a way of life. And so, of course we'd have good thoughts. It cleans up the thoughts right away when everybody's working at that frequency. And so, to be in this world, I don't want to say that. Some people end up with like terminal illnesses because they're like, I'm done. I'm not saying, what God says, don't misinterpret. I'm like, okay. Can I at least say that? Yeah, there's many reasons. There's toxins in the environment, there's toxic relationship, there's energy imbalance in the body, there's, all sorts of reasons. Generational inheritance, proclivity to whatever, mental emotional standards or ways of viewing the world that can set you up for energetic disaster. I heard, why did you do that? And I said, because I sometimes have to interject. And then I hear you, we'll let you get away with it. As long as I don't regret doing that. Why so heavy? Because it is. They're supposed to be light. They're supposed to have the freedom to soar. And so the more you recognize and pull out those traumas, okay, there we go. Constance, I myself I wrote a poetry book of all my struggles from my trauma. I had to do that to sort it out. I was like, was I just this big ass sparkle of light, and then the one in the family that had the shit happen to them on down the line just couldn't control themselves and was so stuck in their own stuff and abuse and their own crud that they decided to flop it on me and 7 other family members, and nobody figured it out till after he was gone? Like, what? And I try to look and I try to see, like, what's the lineage? Did I do that to him in another life? Did I deserve that? We don't deserve that. We don't deserve any of that. We never deserve that. Shit happens. And then, of course, it's what you do about that matters. What you do about it that matters. And so I had to process it out. Only, I think it was during the same time that I was dealing with my own cancer situation. But I'm just saying that sometimes my perpetrator was a drinker, so I was like, oh, I'm not gonna go like that. What was he drowning his sorrows for? What were his sorrows? And then then I came aware of mine, and I was like, oh, that's what he was sorry over. Why didn't he sort it? And probably back then there was no, wow, I am going into this because someone needs to hear, because it's their same family story, because there was no support back then, and she couldn't leave because no one left back then, and there was no way of getting out of it, kind of thing. And we were all stuck in this mess, right? But then I healed my wounds, and then I brought it to the others in the family so that they could have opportunity to heal theirs. And it all worked. We sat in a circle, came to the truth. And long before that, I was able to forgive him, just because that was my journey. It doesn't have to be your journey, but I do know that there are people here and people listening that have family freaking trauma that they keep trying to push away, push away, push away, push away. And it just needs to be resolved somehow. It not necessarily understood, because sometimes we can never come to understanding, but sometimes like, oh, it's still coming at me, or I'm still responding to my world because of those experiences. Like, I couldn't have any person sit behind me in a movie theater. I was like, oh, I'm moving up. you know, just like, it's like, ugh, something, I feel their energy. And I have to have a, you know, I either have to have a wide berth when I'm around, or girth, when I'm around people, or like sometimes I'll like have a chair in front of me or something in front of me when I'm talking to them, or I might have to realize, oh, I need to shrink in my aura. And you can do this. You can, you know, work with your aura so that you're not picking up other people's energy. I'm going to remind you that your aura goes out easily as far as either on your body, as far as your hands can reach, right? But you can push it farther. And the second that you're wondering about the person across the room, you've stretched your energy over there and you're tuned in. And so it's about pulling it back and going, okay, what do I do for my own protection? And so there's all these moments in our life, ooh, getting off my rocker here. There's these moments in our life where we have to start becoming an energy master. You have to become an energy master. Ooh. Chills.
Energy what?
Master. You have to understand, see, someone else needed to hear that, an energy master, because that is your superpower. It is how you are meant to help heal the world, because I hate to tell you, but you are. Because you see where things are harsh and hard and troubled, and you can make a difference. You know, you can make a difference. You can hold them in prayer. You can hold them in your hands of light. You can send loving, healing thoughts to those places and spaces and those people. But it also comes to coming back to you so that you can maintain a separate boundary or a separate space. And recognizing, you know, sometimes when you face certain people because your whole body is facing them, sometimes it's not in your best interest. So it's recognizing, where's your energy? How's your energy? So that you can be this energy master, so that you can maintain and respond with your energy body. We are body and soul. You guys are predominantly soul masters, but I don't know that you're using it as much as and as well as you could be. That sounds harsh. It's the truth, Constance. I'm like, okay. You included. Okay, well said, well said, well said. Sometimes I forget to clear. Clear. It can be done in an instant. You have to live on an energetic level. You do. I just want you to honor that. I do. I mean, seriously, really. It comes as feelings, energy, emotions, thoughts coming at you. There's this empathic clair-pensée. It means you can read people's minds. You're like, what the heck are they thinking? Almost said the F word. What are they thinking? And you go in their mind to figure out what they're trying to say or what they're trying to do or what's going to happen next, because you prepared for that your whole life. You prepared for that your whole life because of what you went through as a child and children. And so you have this great ability to read people's minds. And so sometimes I want you to recognize that you're actually doing this. So it's empathic clair-pensée, there's empathic clair-sensation. Look at, they're like, it's because she's unplugged and she's on a tangent. I know, but can you just give me this? So empathic clair-sensation, which means you feel it, you feel it. When you are tuning in with your energy body into their energy, and you kind of have this thing where you're kind of melding, right? And so in those moments when you're recognizing like, wow, why do I feel like, why am I feeling so heavy or depressed or whatever? And then to recognize like, oh, this isn't me. This was because I was with so-and-so and they were all that and I was picking it up from them. Okay, what do I need to do? Go take a salt bath. Okay, that sounds weird, but whatever. Maybe smudge. Okay, maybe I need to lay down and let the angels take it away. I did that right before today's session because I've been online answering a bunch of people and I was like, oh man, I was tuning in so much. I was picking up their stuff. But they feel great. Bet they feel great. Bet they feel great. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, I'm tired or cranky or can't get in my body or just like, oh my gosh, not anxious. I was jazzed. I was like, oh my God, I'm so jazzed. What is this from? I mean, I heard go lay down, go lay down. That's my go-to. I laid down and I was like, whoa, what's happening? And I just let my body go. And then it was this whole release of energy. And I was like, whoa, that was cool. That's how it works for me. I invite you to try it at home. Empathic clair-sentiment is sentiment, emotion. And so you pick up emotions of other people. You'll probably, if any of you choose to work with people or have kids or be in a relationship, you're like, oh no, I can tell you're upset. I'm not upset. I'm not upset. You're sad. Why are you sad? I'm not sad. I'm not sad. that's hard when that happens to a kid who's so empathic and they know. So any of you that have kids in your life or your world, do not deny them what they're picking up off of you. You want to empower them and say, you are right. I just don't know what to do with it. Oh, something just happened to me right there. Full body chills. Goosebumps, good things. So it's honoring and acknowledging in ways that you were not. You know, in ways that you were not, you know. This doesn't, what is that word? What is that? It's not a tangent. You know, there were times in your youth where you could sense things in the home as an energy caretaker, trying to make sure you take care of everybody and everything. And a lot of times you thought, is this my fault? It's my fault. Well, I'll be better. I'll do better. I'll, you know, do this or I'll do that. Oh, God, I'm so sorry you went through that. You know, and sometimes then, you know, we just go off on this sect in our life. What do you want me to be? What do you want me to be? I'll do whatever you think I should do. What should I do? I should do what they think I should do. And we forget, where's our heart and our bliss? If you came to my talk called Realigning with Your Best Self, that's where a lot of empaths have gone awry, is because they're not following their heart and their head, and they've lost track of who they are because they're out people pleasing everybody else. Full body chills. So it's just this whole thing of like needing to reconnect with yourself and needing to come back in alignment and balance. And so, you know, the ways when I talk about cleansing and clearing your energy or understanding your energy more is first recognizing all those emotions and that when they're hitting you, where they're coming from. And it could be that you're thinking from someone of your past and you're picking up the emotional content from them or their story or whatever. It doesn't mean they have to be right in front of you to have it. This is why people like you are great travelers. You know why? You're like, should I go to that country? And then you can picture yourself there and go, no, but golly, there's a country right next to it that's some magic is going to happen. And you feel almost like this energy shift of like, that's where I want to go. Where should we go to dinner? We should go here. Your body becomes this whole like, you know, tuning fork. Oh, that was funny. and you're just like, let's go here. Let's try this. I should meet that person. I used it when my husband and I picked out the kids. We were up in this whole arena of these adoption agencies. And I was like, you know what? I think we're supposed to go over here. And presto, 3 kids later. It's all good. It's all good. Speaking of my children, thank you. I wanted to tell this story. When my kids were little, they would go out they would go out and play. We live in the woods and all that stuff. And they had such a blast. And I'm sorry, but I didn't always go with them, you know, because I'm like, I grew up when my parents were like, here, go, get out of the house, have fun. And out they would go traipsing through the woods with our dog, Champ. Love Champ. And then they would come back and everything was good. And I'd give them hot chocolate or give them whatever, lemonade, lunch, whatever. They go back out again and blah, blah, blah. And 3 days later, I'd get poison ivy. I was like, I wasn't in the woods. What's going on? This is crazy. Where's this coming from? I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. Of course, you go to the doctor, or I did anyway, and I had to get those steroids because it was so bad. And then my mother's like, don't take those. And I'm like, I can't help it. It's everywhere. And I almost, like, it's everywhere. So I was like, you know, I don't know where this is coming from. And I'm asking permission. So I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. That's what I'm not going to do. But I have to tell you this. I finally figured it out, that it was coming off the kids' clothes when I did the laundry, even though professionals said there's no way it can transfer on clothes, and it just doesn't, that oil just doesn't. And so what I had to do was start wearing gloves. I had to wear gloves when I did the laundry, and I still do to this day.
Also the dog.
Also the dog. Also the dog. Same is true for empaths. Something's happening, something's making your skin crawl, something's got you ill. Something's got you ill, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. What is the source? This is your task in life. The sooner you get on board with self-care, the better off you'll be. I am sorry that it's not physical dimension and in your face, easy peasy. Trust me, body and soul, body and soul. Physical's really easy, in your face, you can see it. Soul, not so much. But you guys are naturally gifted at this. If you close your eyes and take the time to pay attention on these other levels, you have this. You're totally sourced for it. So, I do have to say this, and it's not me. What am I saying when I'm saying you're the light workers? You're supposed to help heal and change the world. Tall order? Yes. Not so much. If you think about how can I bring it into my life and in my world, in what I'm doing right now. Not like what I'm doing, but what are you doing? You know, where do you do life? You have healing hands. I'm gonna say that again. You have healing hands. So much power in your hands. If you're farther, more vibration, you channel this stuff out your body and your feet and your hands and your heart and your eyes. Whenever you're compelled to hug someone, do it. Whenever you're compelled not to, don't do it. Don't do it. Hey, how's it going? Thumbs up. Phew, throw a little light at them. But don't compromise yourself, right? Don't compromise yourself. Don't put yourself in compromising positions. Never do that. Never do that. You can't save everyone, even though you want to. Even though you want to save the world. I know your hearts. I know your hearts. Oh. You see where we can be better. You see how we can do better. And you're like, what the heck? Are they that blind? Sometimes. Sometimes. So, with those hands, it is recognizing that whatever you touch, and we'll say this, becomes blessed with your intentions. So, I don't think they know this really. I don't know how much you know that you're manifestors. Oh, thank you. I didn't know you were manifestors either. The reason why you are is because you're aligned with angelic light. Empaths are aligned with angelic light. You do the same thing, helper healers on the planet. And angels work to manifest. And so the healing hand, so if there's anything that you want to have happen, let's say you want a house or whatever, you can put that on a wish, put your hands on it, bless it, and say, I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for this. Give me the signs. Give me the wherewithal to understand and know and see how it's going to happen. I want a mate. I want a better mate. I want, da-da-da-da. And it's this whole relational trust, trusting the highest good, trusting your knowing, and knowing that you will know what to do, when to do, who to talk to. And sometimes it's should I even be here? Like, should I be here on, in this state, or should I be here in this job, or should I be here with this person? And all of these things are important. They matter because remember, you're supposed to follow your bliss. And how could you follow your bliss if you're in the wrong place or the wrong relationship or the wrong job or with the wrong people? I'm going to say it again. God wants you happy. God definitely wants you happy. Because why? Because when you're happy, your frequency lights up. And you are like sunshine on earth. Sunshine on earth you are. You are like sunshine on earth. A lot of repeating. They need to get it. Okay. You're like sunshine on earth. And so when you're happy, you spread happiness. You know this. This is why people come to you with their problems, with their woes. They go away feeling great, and you're like, I'm so tired. I was doing a Reiki class a few weeks back, and I go in on people's bodies to source, like, what's really going on here? And you too can do this. My Ziders, what's really going on in here? Closing your eyes and then just letting whatever bubble up. When I went in, I was like, oh, this guy's exhausted. That's what's coming up. That's why this chakra is out. It would be great if you could, empaths should know the chakra system and like even Chinese medicine where the organs relate to which emotions and stuff. Those are good things. I was like, he's exhausted. And then I went further. Because the exhaustion was just a symptom to the problem. Further underneath was frustration. This guy was frustrated. I was like, wow. So I said, I'm going to talk to you about your frustration. Do you understand? I get that you're frustrated. So you can do this when you're with your friends, when they're like doing surface talk, and you're like, okay, I'm really getting that it's this. It allowed a complete and utter healing to happen on a whole different level. It was pretty phenomenal. So here's the deal about friends or acquaintances or conversations. Your job is to maybe turn the corner if you need to. Remember, it's all about you. It really is. Like if you want to listen and help and give helpful guidance and tips, because don't forget you're clair-pensée, so you can see what they don't see. You can see, read their mind, you can actually access their history and go, I think it's because of this. Things that you shouldn't know, you know. You're psychics, hugely, 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 hugely gifted. Meaning you understand souls on this other vibrational level. Things come to you, you know things. Creative imagination, creative inspiration. This is not new to you. I know you know this. So in those moments when somebody's bringing you their woes and trouble, and if you don't know this, I think you should pay attention to it and practice it because you're capable. You're quite capable. That I love. So back to the person. So when you're helping them sort and solutions to their problems, it's great because you would be a great therapist if you want to. But it's not so nice if it's a one-way street. And sometimes you forget that you're not a one-way street. It's not a one-way street. And they totally forget it. So every time they show up to be with you, it becomes either picking your brain about your work or picking your brain about your life or whining about theirs. And you're like, wow, this is too uncomfortable for me. And so Spirit wants you to know, God wants you to know, the angels want you to know, the energy flows two ways, and you can only give and give and give of your own accord for so long. Now, if you pull from the heavens, which is sometimes what I do and what you do and what we do, is we can pull from the heavens and allow that light to flow through us so we don't get so exhausted. But if we are getting exhausted after an energy exchange with someone, there could be something deeper going on. And it could be that they are having your attention so much that they're like sucking your energy. They're sucking the life out of you. And they don't mean to, but you're a great friend. And they can't tell anybody else. They're certainly not going to go back and tell the person they have issue with, because that would take too much courage. And it's much better to just tell it to you, and then it gets off their chest, and they don't have to deal with it, and neither do you till next week. Yeah.
Isn't that called passive-aggressive behavior?
I think it could be, definitely. Yeah. Could it be called passive-aggressive behavior? I think most certainly. Or using. So here's the deal. Sometimes you might have to let go of friends or talk to them and say, you know what I'm noticing in this relationship? It's become lopsided. We always sort your problems, and I'm really tired of talking about your problems. Can we just go have fun? Can we go for a walk and have fun? Can we get together and have fun? Let's do something funny. Let's go see a comedy show. Let's do whatever. Let's laugh. Every time it's so serious. It's so serious. I'm very light. Sometimes I think I actually like to think I'm funny. So when I hang out with people, I'm like, Mayday, I'm going down. No, don't pick my psychic brain and ask me my psychic interpretation. I do that for work. I want to just laugh. So the same is true with you. It's like, where are your boundaries, people? Uh-oh. Where are your boundaries, people? Where are your boundaries? To yourself and others. There's been times when my husband, not to throw him under the bus, but he wants to watch a show and I'm like, I don't really want to watch this. I really don't want to watch it. Okay, now I'm leaving, because it's not something that fills my heart and soul. It's not uplifting. It's too heavy. I can't watch the news. I remember I told a certain someone, big anchor woman, newswoman's husband, that said, you shouldn't watch the news. You're too empathic. Mike. And he laughed, and so did everybody in the room. But the truth was this guy was very empathic. He's on the other side. And, his work was to enlighten and awaken, bring joy to people. A lot of his material brought that into the world. And so, some of you, it's not beneficial to watch the news, especially the news these days, like sensationalism. I studied journalism. Give me the happy stories. Give me the change makers. I know there are out there. I read about it all the time. My husband and I belong to a lot of environmental support groups. They're there. I want to hear more about them. So sometimes you can turn the conversation and say, you know, you have to recognize when are you feeling out of sorts yourself with these different engagements. And what do you need to change? And, you know, with my husband, I was like, you can watch that, but I'm not going to watch that. And I went and did something more productive and fun. I think I did take a bath. I was like, sweet, I'll take a bath. You watch that, you know, whatever. We both use TV sometimes to get out of our head because we're both very busy mentally in our day. I get that. Or music. I do that a lot too. And we definitely talk all the time. Okay, this is a tangent. Okay, so, but some people, when I say I don't want to be your person like that anymore, I know I've created this dynamic with you and I've let you kind of do this all the time. And I'm so over it. I can't. And do you recognize that all you do is complain about these same things in your life and I give you advice and you never take it? And then I feel like, well, why are you telling me? And then I realize, oh, you're just dumping. Oh, and I've said, I can get together with you if we don't talk about those subjects that you always want to bring up in your life. The relationship ended. I miss the good parts and the laughs, but I do not miss the heaviness of caretaking someone else's soul. Not like that. I think empaths come with great wisdom and power because you're so psychic, you're so empathic, you're so full of clair-pensée, reading people's minds, visionary sourcing answers. You're probably the most astute people on the planet when you're so fine-tuned. Astute people psychically, problem solvers, solution creators. But the thing is so many times, I think you've had to pull back or hold back from youth on up or from bad experiences on up, you know, where you were not necessarily taught to trust yourself. And so now you're trying to regain that. Like, what does that even feel like? What does it feel like to follow my bliss? What does that even, not take care of everybody else around me? Listen, I'm not saying not care for others. You definitely, I can no more say that than tell a fish, you can live out of water. You guys are emotional beings. Your heart is your biggest and greatest resource. So you're gonna care. I'm not worried about that. And you're gonna care deeply. But I'm just saying also turn that care on yourself so that you can survive, because we need you. And not hide your light, right? Not hide your light because you're busy, because you're so shrouded in others' darkness. Sometimes people like you are like, I'm supposed to save the planet, or I used to think I was, or I was supposed to help save the world. And I agree you are. And sometimes people like you don't think you do enough of that kind of stuff. But I'm here to tell you, you do. You do it in a lot of small ways. Some of you do it in big ways. But you are constantly saving people's worlds in your life, especially the more you show up for yourself and them. Relaying information. There's music playing for those of you that can't hear, so whatever I just said is really important. When it's surrounded by music like that or a phone going off, it's like, cool. Yes, what you do is important. Big and small. That was opposite, wasn't it? Big and small. That's how the world changes, right? That's how we take our work and our journey and our knowledge and our hearts, take our work off the mat, as they say in yoga. Putting into practice kind of this spiritual essence of who we are. And I just don't want you to forget, your truth talkers, So you see what I'm doing here? I'm like, let me go up. What's your go up, man? What is your go up? Is it swimming in the ocean? Is it dancing? Is it, prayer, chanting? Is it being in nature? Is it laughing with friends? Is it doing like I do, like totally going out in the bliss state without drugs? Don't do drugs. You guys, you don't need that. You don't need that. Not like that. I have to take medicine for certain things, so that's not what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. They're saying you don't have to explain yourself. I'm like, I know, but I just want to be clear. So I want you to feel into the energy when you're having an energetic experience. I used to do that all the time as a kid, so I'd be like, where's this feeling coming from? Oh, it's over there. Became very good psychically about that. I would be like, whoa, I'm picking up that you have this, this, and this going on. And that's how I started reading souls. When you say something, see something, I kept getting when I was first starting to do the work and not telling people what I was getting. You could do this too. You could say, do you mind if I give you a little soul advice here? This is what I'm getting. The more we spread this kind of work in this way, the more mainstream it becomes, the more empowered we all get, and the more we get real. And we stop pretending everything's fine when it's not, you know? And we stop denying our incredible capabilities and our incredible presence on the gift that is this earth and our connection to each other. You are powerful beings. I want you to close your eyes. I invite you to close your eyes. Such a bossy cow. I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to get the answer. If you need to put your hands on your heart to do this, you can. But here's the question. I'm going to ask you the question, and your soul or the divine is going to tell you the answer. The question is this: how powerful are you? If you didn't hear very, I'd be surprised. So I'm going to ask it again. Close your eyes, and the answer can be different. How powerful am I? Yeah. If you didn't get an answer, raise your hand. Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Since it's a big question mark.
Ah, if it wasn't a question mark, what would it be? You are such, helper healer. You have held together so many people in your life, held together on countless levels. Not just physically feeding them and doing for them, but on an emotional, energetic, as they worry. You know, you're a worry warrior. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is real. Now that can either take us out because we worry so much, but it also has a thread of caring. And so it becomes this fine line. And sometimes I think that the hardship of not being able to predominantly help someone change, grow, and shift is can break us. It can break us. And I know that I'm hearing for you this whole, and this is not just for you, this is someone else needs to hear this. This too shall pass, and these are words to live by. I am sorry to say that some of the good that you've done in this lifetime will get rewarded in the next. Yeah, that you have no idea the significant amount of helper, healer, and holding energy that you have carried through in this life, helping to sustain. You know, empaths are really in tune with that power of prayer. And so because your work is often on a vibrational level, even though I'm telling you, please use your voice, use your outside voice, because that will make the difference in so many lives, even your own. But your work is so interior on the spiritual level that sometimes you don't know what you've done energetically in a space by holding it. I used to have these conversations with my friend in Australia, and we were like, oh my God, motherhood is so hard. Like, we're holding the energy in the family, the emotional content of the kids, not just with our words, but with energetically, like while doing the dishes, while making the food, and so sometimes that's what you do too. Sometimes you're compelled to go into stores and they don't have what you want only because the angels wanted you in the store. To have your energy help shift the energy in the space or by someone. So some of you might come home at the end of the day being like, I'm so tired. Yes, you are. Lay down, take a nap, because you've done a lot of work. Whether you're conscious of it or not, your energy is going out and helping on all these levels, even when you sleep. And so it's that awareness of like, do I need to look at my dreams? Do I need to follow my dreams? What do I need to do? Where am I satisfied? Where am I happy? Sometimes we take breaks. Like we're like, I just need to have a break for a few months, or this life, or this segment of my life where I just need to kind of regroup because I'm so busy on all these other fronts that I just need a break and I need to recalibrate my energy. I'm going to use those words. And then you have to find, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for you? Recalibrating my energy. What does that look like? You know, for Constance, it's meditation or walks in the fresh air. Recalibrating my energy. That's a great question. Okay, I'll come back to it. Speaking of questions, I'm going to ask if there's questions. I have a mic for you if you have a question. And then we'll see what happens at the end. So does anyone have a question on the material? Does it make sense to you? Yep. Yeah, it should resonate. Should resonate. You come in with great purpose, and you're right. You were born with a reason you're meant to be here. I mean, we all are, but you feel it. You feel it strongly. And I want you to recognize that you're doing it. Even when you think you're not, you are doing it by just being on the planet. Because it is not hard here for you. It's not easy here for you. It is not always easy because you feel and sense everything. Some of you are incredibly emotional over that, or not emotional because it's too tricky to feel, you know? So it's this emotional, very interesting thing. Rainy season, dry season. But I want you to get in touch with your emotions so that you can caretake yourself in a different way than maybe you ever have before. Questions? Legally speaking, this podcast is presented solely for educational, spiritual, and entertainment purposes. It is not intended as a substitute for medical diagnosis, treatment, or the advice of a physician, psychotherapist, or other qualified professional. You should not use this information to diagnose or treat a health problem or condition. Always check with your doctor. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. If you've enjoyed this episode with Constance Messmer, we'd like to encourage you to continue your spiritual journey with this next episode.